The 2023 shooters just keep on coming. I'm here to tell you about Sprawl, not launching in early access, just coming out complete for you to get the full experience. And you can take my word for it, this game deserves your attention. First, I want to mention a couple things that I usually glance over in my videos, the visuals and the music. The game has a cool look to it. There is a lot of brown and gray, lots of industrial environments that give off a Quake 2 vibe, but there are nice moments of contrast as it goes on, even giving me a bit of a Ghost Runner feel here and there. Later levels start to get more ambitious, and I really like how the game looks when it's set at night. And a few of the more open area visuals are simply stunning. Between this and Turbo Overkill, I'm amazed by what these small developer games are showcasing lately. The music is killer. One of the people behind Sprawl is also a musician, playing live at DJ sets. Revel is his name. And he puts his talents to good use here. It's a dynamic soundtrack reacting to the flow of gameplay, and for the most part it does a good job. I normally don't get into visuals and music much, since I mainly focus on gameplay, but of course they are incredibly important to the experience, and Sprawl doesn't disappoint. If you've seen the promotional material for Sprawl, you already know it's a fast movement shooter with fun weapon variety. It fits nicely in the family of all the other quality titles we've gotten over the past 5 years or so. So let's talk about how it works. Sprawl's main movement mechanic is the wall run, but it's not your traditional wall run. There's a unique feel to this that's gonna take some getting used to. Gravity pulls you down as you run, and while you can jump to new heights, even on the same wall, you're limited to 2 additional jumps. The wall magnetism works in a way where you only have to hold forward to stay on the wall. You do not have to press left or right. However, if you turn away from the wall to shoot, after a bit you'll detach, and that's when you want to hold a directional key to stay on the wall. After a while, this all starts to feel very natural, and there's even a little tech in the game where after jumping off a wall you can get a quick double jump. Pretty fun to play around with. Some of the jumps will definitely frustrate you if you're not doing the wall run perfectly. To cross long jumps, you can't just run at the wall and expect to make it. You have to line up parallel to the wall and kind of jump with the wall, not towards it. That's the only way to get as far as you need to without using a shotgun boost, which we'll look at later. The opening tutorial will make sure you understand the platforming, so give it some time and you'll... Oh, hey, look at that. Is this becoming a trend? The other movement mechanic that isn't actually explained in-game, and I think at some point in episode 2 should be explained because it really adds to the experience, is shotgun boosting. Like an old Quake rocket jump, aim at the ground and jump and fly to the sky. This greatly adds to the flow of combat and allows you to improvise a lot more in your navigation of tricky combat spaces. It gives you a great way to create some space to get away from an enemy that's bullying you. And while the game isn't arena focused, there are some arena fights here and there, and shotgun boosting makes the experience 10 times better. And it isn't just combat that's aided by shotgun boosting, it's platforming, secret hunting, everything feels better with the shotgun. Speedrunners are gonna have a field day with it, because if you angle it right, you can get a massive horizontal speed boost. Outside of shotgun boosting, your regular slide will give you a speed boost that fades quickly, but you can jump right after to preserve the momentum, and catching a wall means you'll be sprinting across it at that increased speed. Another very fun mechanic to experiment with. As for weapons, we have a katana, dual pistols, the aforementioned shotgun, twin submachine guns, a grenade launcher, a multi-rocket launcher, a railgun, and a slow-spinning heavy chain gun. Plenty to get the job done. Sprawl's take on the modern indie shooter combat loop is tying a slow motion ability to an active resource management system. When an enemy is low at health, a katana finisher will yield health, ammo, and a small recharge to slow-mo cooldown. But that's not the only way to keep your resources up. Enemies have weak points, like their heads or backpacks, that when shot, drop these 3 resources. Activating bullet time will highlight these weak points for you and greatly assist in targeting them. Shooting enemy backpacks will cause big explosions that damage enemies around them, which you'll definitely want to use to your tactical advantage. Due to the combat sometimes getting a bit frantic, you'll get these explosive shots randomly sometimes, and it's a nice surprise every time. As long as you stay active in combat, target weak points, intelligently manage your slow-mo, and use your mobility options, you'll be raining hell down upon the enemies and never stopping. And I definitely recommend you play on the highest difficulty if you can handle it, because it'll punish you for playing sloppy. Some enemy weaknesses are not based on the glowing points shown during slow-mo, and instead are there to be discovered, like the mech that shoots grenades at you. If you target the grenades as they're coming out, the explosions cause big self-damage. Every weapon fits a unique role in combat. Pistols for quick precision shots, submachine guns for panic spray and pray, explosives for crowd control and heavy damage, railgun for long distance targeting, and the shotgun is of course your big up-close damage weapon, while also doing a decent job at mid-range precision shots. I need to take a moment to talk about the shotgun because there's an aspect of its design that I think is brilliant, but it will go against some of the boomer shooter fans' instincts. There is a very long reload time on the shotgun, to the point of being awkward. You can't just hold the shotgun in your hands and blast away. That's already the function of the pistols and SMGs. The long reload time incentivizes weapon swapping, which I am of course all in favor of. You can swap to another weapon after firing, use that one for a bit, and then come back to the shotgun for another powerful shot. It makes the shotgun something you pull out tactically. Each shot becomes a lot more important, because it'll be a second until it's available again. I like this idea. It's very obviously an intentional design decision to get people off of shotgun spam. That's why I'm a bit about the weapon swap cooldown skip. Now, as far as I know, this is something being talked over by the devs. We'll see where they land. I think they're in favor of some degree of cooldown skipping, but not to the point where you can just dead swap back to the shotgun to fire again instantly, because that turns it right back into the kind of gun they didn't want it to be in the first place. Maybe in the time it takes to fire 2 pistol bullets, the shotgun can be ready to fire again. Something generous, but not crazy. I'm sure speedrunners would love to maintain the instant shotgun firing tech, and the I should be able to do whatever I want players out there will take issue with it. But I am hoping that some kind of middle ground can be found, because I like the vision behind this shotgun's functionality, and it's sad to see how easy it is to get around the limitations it presents. We'll see. Even if nothing changes, the game is still very fun, and overusing the shotgun will still end up in you running out of ammo for it, so that system is there too. The weapon swap cooldown exploit also applies to the rocket launcher, so you can fast fire rockets by dead swapping, and I want to say it's not as big of a deal as the shotgun, because you get the rocket launcher much later in the game. But this thing holds 16 rockets, and you start getting a lot of them later on. So, in my opinion, swapping to skip the cooldown would be alright if you significantly lowered the ammo capacity on this thing, so you can't use it to eliminate entire rooms. As for enemy variety, I think Sprawl is kinda lacking. Soldiers are very normal, there's dogs and mechs, armored shotgunners, some drones. Nothing really stands out as something special. There's no enemy where, when I think of Sprawl, they immediately come to mind, and that's kind of unfortunate, because I do like this game's identity. There are some boss fights, and they're fine for the kind of game this is, but again, nothing too memorable, though I haven't gotten to the final boss fight yet, so that might be a different case. I guess those are my only real criticisms. Some weapon balance stuff, not enough cool enemy variety, and it could use some more interesting AI. Oh, wait, I do have other criticisms. Master volume slider. Oh, Sprawl, you hit one of my pet peeves for missing menu options in video games. All games should have master volume sliders, and there's no exit game option while you're playing either. You have to go back to the main menu first, so add that to the list. There's a really bad sound bug that happens anytime you start a level or load a save, where every weapon acquisition sound plays at once, and it sounds like my fucking speakers are exploding. It scares the hell out of me every time I open the game because I forget about it. Jesus Christ, oh my god. There is no way to reduce the HUD size, and that's gonna have some people in the hardcore shooter scene upset. The bars and icons take up way too much space and should be able to be reduced. I would like to see dual binding options in the menu. I like to have certain weapons set on both sides of my movement keys for easy access while strafing. I also think it would be nice to see, as part of the HUD, some small indicators of the ammo available for all weapons. And finally, this is something that really bugs me. If you press the fire button before the weapon ready animation finishes, the gun will not fire when it's ready. This led to so many instances of me switching to my chain gun or submachine guns, holding the fire button, and they just aren't firing. Even though I'm holding the button, I gotta release and press fire again, and it takes me a second to realize what's happening every time, and it gets me killed. I really hope this gets fixed in an update. Okay, that's about it for Sprawl. I think you know all you need to know to have a good time. Buy it, tell your friends about it. I'd love to see these talented devs get the support they need to make another game. Thanks for watching.